two of growing is not just about age, it's a shift. Yes, can get into the second part. Moderator, tupeleke na
Where are we? Amen.
Amen.
Let's talk about the shift parts.
The shift.
In my opinion, this is my standpoint.
Mm.
The shift that occurs when we are talking about adulting is from when somebody is perceived as being a teenager to being somebody who can now hold responsibilities beyond their beyond the capacity that they have been operating in as of the present. So you find is if you are a teenager at what do we say 15, 16, 17, 18, you're still in high school. Haujalipa rent, people don't ask you for money, people don't ask you for those kinds of things. So you find that the transition that is happening to you is mostly for us as Africans, we do it as at an academic level. It's not really, people don't really want to know whether psychologically you're prepared or whether you're prepared in any way. But the shift happens at an academic level. You've moved from high school, now you're in campus, now you're an adult. Weenda kama ulitoa Masai University, go there, learn how to fend for yourself, learn how to learn how to learn how to make friends, learn how to do all those things. Sasa, you find the shift has occurred and you've just shifted academically. Nobody has told you how to shift your mindset. Nobody has told you how to shift your thinking or to shift your how you handle your finances. Hizo vitu bado hakuna mtu amekuja kukuambia, but now the shift has occurred and you are unprepared for it. So you find that change has occurred and nobody told you, nobody prepared you for it. So hapo no unapatanga watu, people are making decisions and they don't know that these decisions are now coming with repercussions. And mind you, just give me 30 seconds. I was listening to Joshua Selman yesterday as he was talking about something, and he said that the lifespan of people is divided into 4 different levels, each 25 years. Between the age of 0 to 25, we called it the child age. Let me say it's, I think, child or something. He was saying that at this age, between 0 to 25, you can make mistakes. And you can live with those things. You have the time to shift. You have the time to change and make a different, like take a decision you may make and change it. Yeah. But beyond that.
But how many of us were told that?
No, that's what I'm saying. I learned it yesterday.
Exactly.
I learned it. Alisema hivyo and it clicked in my head that this is the age where we grow. This is the age where we make friends, we drop friends. But beyond 25, you will find that some of the people you will be with from 25 and beyond near what stay. Like mtu mwenye mlikuwa na yesa 12 years, unakumbuka ni nani? Ilishaenda. Mistakes zenye ulimeka that time, people don't really hold them to you too much, but hit beyond that point. And now the shift that has occurred in your life now necessitates that you are responsible for everything. Na hakuna mtu mwenye alikwambia kina kuramba sasa. I don't drop the mic, I'm still holding it.
Growing up is not just an age, it's a shift. Looking at it in very too deep kidogo. This is a very deep thing that when I think Peter may mention, we were never taught. We may grow up ya kimwili, yes. The number that we all have, 18, 19, 20, yes. And I progress after each and every year, but pale kwa shift, mindset shift, priorities pia was in a shift, responsibilities pia was in a shift. We were never taught that part. No one ever mentioned it hadi shule tulikuwa nafunza tu ya mwili adolescence na story inaishia hapo. Don't touch here, don't touch there, but we were never taught about how our mentality juu tunaacha kufikiria juu hadi inaitwa sijui kama ukio unaambia hapana, when boys get initiated unaambia umeacha kufikiria kama umeacha kukua mtoto sasa hivi ni mtu mzima. That tunaingia tuko tu gradually, like it's just another thing that happens in life, just another level that tumefika, but kufikiria pale pa kufikiria kujua juu saseme kama after us guys after we have been initiated tunafunzanga a little bit about responsibility and that is all we live with hadi
For
wenye
2
tunatembea
days.
huku nje, that is what we live with. Kale ka kitu kidogo uliambiwa ukishatoka huku you are not supposed to do 1 2 3 you are
Usilie.
supposed to do 1 2 3
Yeah.
no hizo ndio kitu wenye watu tuna survive nayo huku nje.
Nilikuwa tukienda huko mnaongeleshwa.
But for how long? How long are we usually there? A week
A
or
week.
2? That's not enough.
And that
to-
week hii za kwanza zinakuwa mbili inakuwa tu ni nyinyi wenye mko huko mjuani before the doctor come and does his
Or
thing.
it happens in the evening.
Yeah.
Ukanga become and then the thing in Akwanga, that 1 week, literally you cannot listen. You recuperate the whole week. You and the pain man or whichever thing.
And
So the following
doing-
week is when people you're being told, oh, do this or do that or do this.
hapo unakonga ushamaliza you're just fresh out of primary no you're just fresh out of bado hujaanza kufikiria bado you still don't know what responsibility is bado hujui as in how to kujihandle in certain situations in life unaona hapo nimesema kuna tu vitu tunafunzangwa they help yes but hazikuangi as in nika venye unaweza pata a full course ama a crash course in something tutakuwa tumepewa crash course in life peke yake na kunanga tutakuwa tumeambiwa kuna mwanaume afai kulia as a guy afai
Which is a lie.
kuliwa nguo
Which is a lie.
Ah,
In my opinion, msijaribu kunikujia tafadhali. Tafadhali. Nikujie.
but unaona hizi ndo vitu tulifunzwa huko na so many of us survive just with that hatunanga kitu kingine
Yeah.
that is what we live with
Let me or you wanted to speak, madam. I don't get you. Or tuendelee kuvent. There's some things that are in the Bible that can help us a bit in this scenario. If you look at the instructions that are written in the Bible concerning child and son, Bible says that as to many that believe in his name, he gave them the right to be called the children of God. So that is one ranking, children of God. But as you progress on, you'll see that Jesus starts talking about sonship. Sons are given responsibility, and it is about maturity. They grow into it. People don't just learn, and that is the one mistake you've done. We've taken years, like 1 year as a point of transition. That is a very short time to make somebody's mindset change.
Yeah.
Because shifting from thinking in a particular way into thinking into another way, it takes time. It takes a lot of time to shift thinking and to shift perspective and to shift character. Because over time, people build habits. Imagine what you've been doing between 0 and 13 years. Mtu anataka yakuje itoe yote kwa kichwa wako, aibadilishe within 2 weeks.
umezoea kukula na mkono ya right
Factory
uanze
reset.
kula na ya left
Eti anataka akwambie eti haufai kuwa unafanya hivi. You've been doing it for the past 13 years. But you shouldn't be doing it. So I'm not defending immaturity and irresponsibility. I'm just saying when people are going through shifts of such kind, they take time. That's why you'll realize even in campus, utapata form 4 liver na first year na second year, there's a way they kind of act the same. They kind of thinking is almost the same. In as much as they've shifted from dynamics, even as much as people say that first year, yeah, they do think differently, but some of the behavioral patterns that they have are almost the same.
mostly the same
Yeah.
most of
Hata
them
vile
are the
wanavaa
same.
mtu na they think the same. Utapata tu ni mtu maybe aliingia fourth year huko. That's why you'll now see that there is a
change.
very big difference between them, and those are years of change.
Yeah.
So, in as much as we are telling people to mature, understand that some of the shifting is in stages. So I believe let's give people the benefit of the doubt to mature in stages and not just transition from this to this immediately. Unamtoa hapa unamrusha hapa, unamtoa hapa unamrusha hapa, and expect them to behave as such. So in my thinking, I believe that we can allow people to shift gradually in life and into adulting and prepare our children for these things. I don't believe waiting for somebody to get to class 6 is when we teach them about their bodily changes when it comes to puberty. You are late. You are very late.
actually, yeah.
You're very late. Let me give you a story. Then I was with my cousins let's say some 2-3 years ago, those guys were very young, around 7 years, 7, 6, 8. And tulikuwa ushago na one of the cows was giving birth. It's one of the most complicated things I've ever seen because eventually we lost both the calf and the mother. So while we were doing the procedure and waiting for the vet to come, I had those children discussing the reproductive system of the entire animal. And they're 7 years. 7 years. Mimi, I wasn't actually, I wanted to listen to as they spoke about it. And I look at the way they have been raised by their parents na nikarealize hao wazazi ni wajanja sana. Mtoto atashtuka akienda kufunza hizi vitu class. Hii si ya class kwa sababu according to the curriculum mtoto hajafika hapa. Huyu mzazi alimfunza hizi vitu. So if they know about the animal, it means they know about themselves. So it means that when the maturity comes for them to understand these things, haitakuwa ni shock. It will be an easy transition for them to understand, okay, now this is now the biological things that my mother did not teach me, but now it now makes sense.
I feel like also okay, shifting from one phase of your life to another is a big difference, especially if you're not prepared for it or you're not anticipating it, or it was never just part of the plan, but life happens, you have to pick yourself up and figure out sasa tunadu. And I understand why. Okay, how do I say this? Most of the parents don't expose their kids to certain things because they are protecting their kids. I totally get that.
Yeah.
But what most parents forget is you will not expose me to it, but the world will check me out.
Itatufunza.
You will not tell me all. Or yes, because I get there, especially when it comes to topics about sexuality and things like that. I feel like parents hawatakangi kuguza kabisa. And mimi napendanga the fact, my mom will tell me XYZ NYA if da ujue results ni either 1 2 3 4 5. You get. And I feel like if cause kuna incident niliona ya hata mimi pia leo ni digress. Kuna incident niliona in Mombasa. The mom had a boda guy who would pick her daughter, take her to school and bring her daughter back. Na huyu ni mtu umetrust. So imagine umetrust mtu to that level. But now since kwa culture yao, acha ni generalize niseme in the Muslim culture, wanakwanga very uptight. Like there are certain things you can't talk about, there are certain things you can't express yourself about. So the daughter was not aware ABC is bad, So the border guy used to take advantage. Anampeleka shule, anampeleka pahali. And then at the example the border guy was using me, ati sinaona hata pet unaenda hata unaona ngata mimi nikipitia petrol station ama your dad's car inapeleka petrol station na kwa mafuta. Acha pia milioni kuweka mafuta. Yes. So imagine if this kid knew this is wrong, aliambiwa na mamake hii inaitwa sex and you're not supposed to do it without consent, ama you're too young for it, ama unangojanga until marriage. And if someone does ABCD, you come and tell me. You run to me. So imagine how long this child, this young girl, had to endure and go through it. And the mom actually noticed when it was too late. And after me notice, there's something wrong at him wash and things like that. After amepeleka mtoto check up, na realize, sasa mtoto akiulizwa, ushaifanywa na akasa ndo anaambia mamake, fulani alinipeleka ananipelekanga pahali, ananifanyia na. But mtoto si ati nini ingine, ni mzazi. I understand the parent was trying to protect the kid from things a child should not know, but unaona pia ilienda kumcost. I feel like hawa ni watoto na wanajua what's right and what's wrong. Wacha mtoto akaye akijua hii inaitwa hivi, na mtu akifanya hivi, this is what you should do, or this is the take you should take. So parents, I get the fact you're trying to protect your kids, but the world will not. People actually, people out here don't care.
People feed on that.
People feed on that, and there are perverts out here. So part of protecting your kid should be telling them vitu vile ziko kwa ground, because believe you me, huku nje people don't care. Mtoto ataenda afanyiwe kitu, and to her cause ajui, ama to him cause ajui, cause pia kuna incidents the boys being molested na ni mtoto hajui ni nini, hajui inamaanisha nini. But imagine if you would have actually taken the time to educate her and tell her, sasa tunakwambia ndio uende kufanya, na sasa tunakwambia tujue ya nini, I'm telling you ndio ujue what's right, what's wrong, na pia wewe uweze kujielewa wewe mwenyewe as a person. So kindly, not even parents, generally everywhere, schools, even uku church, because uku church normally we have girls who every month or every at least 1.5 months. Educate them, let them know things as they are. Saa zingine kusugarcoat haitasaidia, by the way. It is good to expose these kids, because utaficha mtoto ataenda campus, atakutana na hizi vitu na kama ajui
high school yenyewe,
and that is why a lot of kids unaendanga campus ndio unapata mtoto alibebwa na upepo. Umeenda umejua kumbe watu wanaendanga out. Acha pia mimi ni experiment, but imagine if your dad told you kuna kitu inaitwa pombe, kuna kitu inaitwa sherehe, kuna kitu inaitwa ABCD. If you expose your kids to such things, ama just talking about them inasaidianga to some degree.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, nimedigress sana.
It's okay. Bado tuko hapo kwa shift. We are still shifting in control. But hapo kwa shift pia venye tu Lucy umesema, in as much as we are trying to protect us, mimi honestly, sexual talk kwa nyumba, it has never happened.
It has never?
Sasa ni
sisi kwetu.
Sasa ni unaona ile sasa ile venye ushakuwa mkubwa, juu ya age ushakuwa mkubwa, sasa tunaanza kuambiwa, na nilikuona ukitembea na msichana fulani, mimi sitaki mimba kwa nyumba yangu.
See sex talk. No, I'm just saying
it's true, but unaona as in you are grown up, wana expect ushikanishe chenye unasema.
By the time unatembea na nani.
Exactly. Sasa that is a part of the shift that we were denied.
Because personally, let me just say this, I'm exposing my parents here, but kwetu utaambiwa ati ni hivi, but maybe I'm watching a movie or something, my mom will take that time, simona, for example, let me give an example, maybe dem anaenda kwa chali yake or something, my mom will take that time and tell aniambie sasa anachukuanga time at the moment of
mom is interested,
a moment of referral,
and taking your time ananiambia Lucy unaona kweli unaenda unajua results ni ABCD. And I'm not saying it is wrong, but go to public places. Sasa hiyo ndo mama ataniambia ukitaka vizuri endeni mkule restaurant, go for bowling, and then you watch game. So my mom will tell me hivyo.
Uko na your mother. But it's okay, it's not there's the nimeingia kitu sana, but no problem.
It's for you guys.
I've seen I asked myself why that didn't happen at home, and it's also because parents who were especially in Christian homes long ago, their parents never talked about those issues. They never talked about it. So your parent was like, how in the world do I start having this conversation with my child? Where do I begin? What moments do I pick to talk to them? And the concern is, what if I tell them too much? That their curiosity kills or gives them the incentive to go and experiment.
I think also cut you short kidogo tu. It goes also with age. There are certain things that right now, there are certain conversations right now I can have with my dad and my mom that 5 years ago I could not. It was like a taboo. But right now, I'm even in a position to sit down with my dad. Not to engage stories the investment. Sahi I'm in a position.
Another thing we need to look at.
Another topic.
Sahi tunakanga hivi nasikia dada ananiambia, kuna shamba Nyahururu. Na.
Unaona shamba Nyahururu, you're like, when did you get to Nyahururu, for example?
So,
how?
Nika sahi na tunakanga tu hivi randomly on a random Thursday my dad asked me, "No uko na mtu?" You get like 5 years or 7 years ago, that was not even a topic we could touch on.
But
Umemaliza kusoma kwanza, you know.
So-
that question pia inakujanga with age.
I
Ndio.
mean,
For me,
baby,
here's
niko
the thing,
sure.
no.
It's true.
My baby,
I'm of a very
niko
different
sure.
opinion than you guys.
But
Me, I
Then
think-
niko-
Pia comes
kuja
with-
hapo.
That question comes with it.
Me, I think my dad is just curious. Zile za ni kama ananichokoza aone ni
They
wapi.
know,
No,
they
it's
know.
because Lucy imebaki wewe tu kwe. Unaona sasa.
They
They are
know.
waiting. Creation is waiting for the manifestation of the sun. So they are waiting.
Wanaanzanga
They
na
are
kuna
waiting.
mtu na alafu inakuja unatuletea lini?
Na
Unaona?
umeona kijana ya nani?
Eh.
Kijana ni mzuri. Nilisikia. You see such kind of thing. But I believe
Ndio nakwambia it comes with age pia.
Yeah,
Kuna
it
age when
comes
we
with
discuss
age.
certain things with a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old.
me don't believe.
But kuna
I don't
there are
believe.
some questions that
Believe
come
you
with
me.
age.
Believe you me. There are
The
certain
reason
topics-
why the reason why I don't believe in it, wacha nikucut short tu kidogo, is because I have met 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds and 11, 12, 13, 14. They tell me some things and I'm like, who in the world told you that? And it's not their
Is
parents.
it things that they were exposed to
Yes, it's an exposure because
through internet? Ama
friends,
through what?
internet, TV, wherever. Because for me, my personal story, acha nijianike tu kidogo because one day I'll talk about it in
Mama
someone.
Pita kama unaona hii Mama Pita kama unaona hii
Hii is a
kamera
story.
gani?
Forward, can
I
forward
refrain.
the camera?
Wewe
Zima-
tulia.
zima hiyo ni
Nitawapea
Hapana.
kitu baadaye. Chill,
Mam
chill,
forward
chill,
hiyo kitu.
chill. The first time I got exposed to sex, I was 8. In our age currently, mimi, count back when I was 8 years old.
Anacheza na panya.
Bas. Watu wakicheza kababana cha mama, me I knew. I was like, I used to sit down and see people
Nikiwa
picking
ko-
things and I'm like, huyu ni mtoto huyu na yeye haelewi ni nini. Like I was very aware of this thing. I got so exposed so early to so many things that I was so I was, for me to assume, that's why I have told people, I'm a Sunday school teacher, let me use this as a reference point. I've talked to kids who tell me that they are addicted to pornography at the age of 12. At the age of 12. So I believe that when we say that we refrain from having certain conversations, it is not helping these children so much. Right now we are in the age where if you're playing Candy Crush and you want to get an extra life, you watch an ad. Ad yenye inakujanga ni ya dating app. Na watoto wanacheza Candy Crush. Ama hata sisi watu wakubwa na si eti niko mimi natafutanga dating app sina and I don't go, so it's not that they are
You
transmitting
don't do Tinder.
I don't. Sasa naenda kutafuta nini huko? So
Si una Tinder.
no nasema when we assume, because one day that child will be curious, who is this who is dancing here, this guy, of which if it's a boy akili tu itakuwa aroused immediately, and so they will go after that. They will want to find out who is this, or really unacheza game unaona it so and so has sent you an anonymous message, you click. Those are ads. It takes them through strings and strings of a lot of things, and these are children. Watoto wangu pisa wako na simu. Watoto wangu wa Sunday school karibu 3/4 wako na simu, and I'm teaching from age of 8 going up. And so I'm not saying that it's bad to refrain from certain conversations, but since the world is not sparing our children these conversations, let's tell them early. Let them know this is wrong and this is right. And from a biblical standpoint, let your children have the understanding of marriage and sex from very early. Tell them, we are together, me and your mom, or me and your mom, this and this happened. Let them know this and this. Have those conversations. They are difficult, but they will save them from a world. let's go into a story mtashtuka.
World of
You
trouble.
end up with a lot of trouble because if you get an addiction at the age of 10 unaenda kuambia mamako uliona hiyo kitu wapi, kwanza atakuchapa vibaya sana.
Unaona
Nani
wow.
alikufunza?
Day and night.
Haya, uanze kuleta watoto wa wenyewe kwa hii ngori, ushikanishe strings za watoto wa wenyewe. By the time unaleta mbogi ya watoto 20 sasa kijiji mzima nyinyi wote. I used to, so save your child by telling, let them know the truth. I've told my mom these words. Ukifika pahali umerealize, here's the thing, that if you train up your child in the way that he should go, he will never depart from it. Hata akimbie wapi, they will always come back to God. That is a phrase I have stood by. That if you give your child God early enough, no matter whether where they run to, watarudi. You know that one I know. They will come back. Yes. So, me, that's my personal take. Na nimeachia hapo.
So, issues of relationships and relating. I feel like for this one, it's a wide and broad topic because
Uko na mutu.
I feel like most of us, when it comes to how we relate with other people and relationships, generally when it comes to friendships, how we like everything surrounding friendships, everything is a ship there. I feel like those are things that we all assume are very vitu ndogo ndogo. Ni vitu tunasummingi ni vitu ndogo ndogo, but aujuangi vile mtu hata vile mtoto wako ataenda shule socialize with other people, the way your kid is going to relate to other people huku nje really determines a lot pia life yake itakuwaje huku nje. Oh, the way your child relates with other people kunje determines a lot pia social life yake itakuwaje shule. So me I feel like it's good we teach our kids because there are people, especially mtoto amelelewa peke yake ama mtoto wamelelewa it was always them and the parents or them and the just me and my sister. Like the environment you had your kid around determines social life yao itakuwaje, atarelate aje na watu, ataongea aje na watu, and social life ya mtoto wako matters sana because if it's negative and no one wants them around, it's also going to tamper with their self-esteem, their self-worth. Watoto sasa ndo wanaanzanga self-doubt. Mtoto alikuanga very active, sasa hata hataki kuongea, hataki kukua pahali, anakuwa introvert out of nowhere, and wewe unajua tu vizuri that's how my kid used to be like, kwa sababu maybe si mtoto wa kukaanisha na watu in a way inasaidia kaanisha na watu for lack of better words. Yeah. Hata relationship huko mkiwa wakubwa lazima ujielewe ndio uweze kukaa na mtu. Yeah. So, sponge ama pira
Bado naomba mandazi.
So there's something I was listening to a certain guy called Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson was he's a clinical psychologist, and he teaches, I think it's the University of Canada or Columbia or something. So I listened to him in one of when I was doing self-discovery journey, and I was an age I had a lot of issues. So as I was listening to this guy, he gave a certain phrase, and up to today
Peter was a very traumatized kid.
Niggas are a story. What's any kushina mmesema?
Troubled children.
You know, there is something I wish the people who have been around me can tell you. When I'm outside with people, you wouldn't actually know it. Me, you can't know. I went through some, I will fight with my problems uko kwa kichaka. When I appear before people, I ensure I'm strong,
You know,
which has destroyed me to some very bad extent.
there's this phrase yenye inasemango, I fought with my demons until we became friends. And for most of us, it's true. As in,
You need to
time
do an
unakanga-
exorcism service and a deliverance.
But to some extent, as in right now, pia ukiangalia, it's kind of true. We fight with so many things that tumezi normalize.
Then it's a very big okay. So as I was talking about Jordan Peterson, he gave a phrase. He said, between the ages of 0 to 3, you teach your child how to accept you and accept themselves. When you release them into the world, it is not your child that needs to accept the world. It is the world that needs to accept your child.
The confidence.
So if you fail to teach your child that it's the society that accepts them and not the reverse of it, you raise up an entitled child. You raise up a child who thinks that the world owes them anything,
It revolves around them.
that the world revolves around them. Unajua hapo ndo unapatanga mtoto wa mtu hezi kaa na watu, because we handle kids. You find you've not taught your child how to stay with people. It is not people who, it is not, I wish you could get that. Ni mtoto wako analetwa kwa society, aingie kwa hiyo society. Si eti ni society inaletwa kwa mtoto wako. So you need to culture your child to be with people.
And that's a shift.
And that's a shift. And that's why, as you are relating with your child between those early years, don't just confine them to yourself. Expose them to other people. I know nowadays people are not so good, but expose your child to the right people. Because I once asked my mom, can you recommend your friend to be my friend? Can your friend become my friend? Can you recommend your daughter to your female friends that she can go to them for advice that she cannot come to you for? That means that you as a person have cultivated a circle of people around you that are trustworthy enough that when I introduce my children to that circle of people, because they will also have their own children, I will be very sure that these people will remain with my kid. These people will teach my kid in the right way. So let us, I am of the opinion that people need to get out of those strings of mindset that tumejiwekea that mtoto ni wangu, mtoto ni wa society,
Mtoto ni wetu.
mtoto ni wa society, tafadhali. Au mfunzangi wewe peke yako shule. Au kimleta Sunday school lazima relate na watoto.
Yeah.
Kim set up in all those places.
And I think that's why vile sisi tulilelewa, sisi tulikuwa wa community.
Kijiji
Neighbor
najua.
akikupata ukifanya kitu you're not supposed to be doing, bora haja kuvunja, the neighbor had the right to discipline in the correct way. Mi bora hujaniuliza. Mama yangu alikuwa anasema ati alikuwa anafanya nini?
Hata ungechapa vizuri.
Hata hujachapa vizuri.
Yeah.
Na ilikuwa inasaidia cause unajua you always on your toes cause unajua wewe. Hata si kuchapwa tu cause there are a lot of people watching even when your mom is not there and your dad is not there and my sister is not there. There's always someone looking. You're getting. Alafu with time cause ushazoea to act a certain way in the correct way. Ushajua kublend na watu. Unaweza enda uachwe kwa kina nani na mkae na sake vizuri and you won't misbehave and you won't do anything out of pocket. It's very important. And you won't do anything out of pocket. Ilikuwa inakufunza na hata ukienda urushe pale nini cause me and Marianne were back in the day tukiwa wadogo. Tulilelewa kwa kambi and majority of the people we even used to hang out with are boys. So tunapanda nao miti. Those are good old days.
Back in the innocent days, as I call them.
So na feelingi hiyo kuachwa pia enda uko bond na wenzako. Go out there and actually teach yourself how to maneuver life on your own when mom is not around and dad is not around. Because I believe even you at some point your parents would go to work, anakwambia nimekupikia lunch, kuna chai, kuna nini, kifika hii masaa kwa nyumba kula, fanya homework, oga hii masaa. When I come back niko
Ama mjenda kuchota maji baba yenu atoga na nini.
nimeenda chomeni nyumba.
My mom used to tell me, Wenda tu ufanye chenye unafanya, lakini nitakuja kuambiwa. Haujui
By
ni
the
nani
way, I
ataniambia?
remember those presents.
Haujui nani
Wow.
ataniambia, but nitajua.
By the time anatoka huko kwa
We.
barabara, mama soko, bla bla bla. By the time anafika kwa nyumba, she has the full report.
Alafu sasa
She has
nakuuliza,
the full
umefanya nini?
Najifanya
Akiwa na
mzuri.
content. Umefanya nini? Jaribu
Angalia kama
kudanganya.
ni muongo.
Unajuanga ujui, inakuanga ikwangi nini yako.
Yeah.
Wacha kabla mimi najua nita digress. What were we talking about?
And relating.
Hey, I think you have exhausted all the points.
Can I give one?
Hey,
Finally.
yeah.
1 minute. No, give me 30 seconds. Me, I love talking. Okay, the reason why I talk about family so much is I'm oriented towards that in my calling. I love family. Eventually, yes. So, sasa, the parents, our generation and millennials and some Gen X grew up with very traumatic life. And by default, you transmitted that trauma to your children. By default, it wasn't your own wanting, and so you transmitted it. That's why if you check in our age right now, children who have OCD, children who have all those mental disorders, is very high. Not because these kids have any problem, but because by default parents transmitted it to them. So in our age of parenting nowadays, with the increase in knowledge, we need to be aware that these issues are there. So there's some children who are naturally they are naturally outgoing. Some of them, because of these mental things, they wanarudi, wanajiwithhold. So as you are staying with your child, it's good nowadays to do this evaluation. Get to know mtoto wangu ako aje, anarelatingi aje. Na ukiambiwa vitu na watu at times siko baya.
Anyway, so since now we are wrapping up this segment and this topic of today, what is the actual reality of adulting? What kwa ground?
Wacha nianze.
What is
Wacha nianze.
what is adulting really like right now?
Adulting is hard. That is, hiyo ni kitu tuwezi pigana nayo right now. It is very hard. But the reality is you don't have to adult alone. You don't have to do it alone. You have that 1, 2, 3 friends, that small circle of your friends, where you can come once a while, muna share. If you don't share like us guys that we are pretending to share and we discussed during the other episode, munaweza enda tu muhang out, you have fun. That is still adulting. You know, kuna time tulikuwa tumekaa hivi and me and my friend tulikuwa tunasema if tungepata chance ya kuingia tu bouncing council, kama tungepata chance waambie all children go, is adults time, you will be surprised. But yeah, you don't have to adult alone. It's not a must. Nisido tunakuwa tumejiweka hiyo standard. We suffer alone. Why are you suffering alone? Come share tubonge and we make actually ukibonga na msee about what unapitia na chenye anapitia, at the end of the hata kama mtakuwa mmesoma inakonga huge load offloadiwa kidogo, you know.
Wanasemanga
a problem shared is half solved.
Exactly.
Wahenga wazungu, you guys. But yeah, you don't have to adult alone. You don't have to bear everything in the world alone. And right now in these times that we are exposed to so much, and that's part of adulting. And we are learning how to handle everything that we exposed to. We exposed to everything all at once, negative, positive, zingine adujui vile ziko, but zote tu tumepewa exposure. So knowing how to handle each and everything that comes is also part of adulting, and understanding ourselves and each other, and knowing how to relate with each other. Kurudi tu kwa hizo topics that tumetoka, relating with each other, the relationships that we have, not sio lazima tikue romantic, the friendships that we have, all the ships that we know, hizo ships zote. Yeah, knowing how to navigate through them is also a huge part of adulting. And the reality is tunaweza kosa kujua kunavigate zote, but we are learning. And step by step tuendelea tu kujifunza and yeah, we'll grow together. I think that's all I have. Point ingine ikirudi nitamaster.
So, Peter, the reality of adulting.
I've told to keep it short and I just have 2 points. Mbili, nimeambia naongeanga sana ni ukweli. Madhara ya kukaa peke yako kwa nyumbani tu unajiongeleshanga.
Anaji-advise.
Advising vibaya sana. Me myself and I we sit together every day, we have a meeting.
Jita kama uchamani.
Sasa, let me give you 2 things. One of them is a lesson I learned very recently. Is that as a Christian, you have one life, 5 dimensions. One life, 5 dimensions.
Take out your notebook, guys.
Let me expound.
No,
This
notebook.
in my whiz, nimekuwa niki-collect.
Notebook,
Whiz.
wewe, notebook.
The first one, have the spiritual dimension of life. Second one is the health dimension of life. The third one is the soul dimension of life. The fourth one is the financial dimension of life. And the fifth one is the relationship dimension of life. Those 5 are what everything that this life has iko hapo ndani. You don't go beyond that. There's nothing you will do that will transcend those 5. That is what encompasses. And the highest of them is the spiritual reality of life, the spiritual dimension. If you take care of that, there's a high probability the rest will be solved. I was telling my Sunday school last week that if you check the Bible, there's at least over 500 verses that talk about finances. Over 500 that talk about relationships. Similar to things like your mind. All of those ones are incorporated in the word. So the understanding that the spiritual dimensions is able to govern the rest, is able to give principle and life to the rest, will be able to help you to navigate through life. And so relate with people in accordance to the word. Handle your finances in accordance to the word. They are principles for handling wealth, but the basis and the foundation for handling wealth is in the word. And the last thing, there's a book called The Principle of Change by Dr. Miles Monroe. And he said this, change is inevitable. Every day you change, and every day the world changes. The best thing you can do with change is not allow change to change you.
You want to be changed by change.
But what to do is to embrace change and prepare for change and use that change to your advantage. That will help you in the shifts of life, understanding that life is not stagnant and change is inevitable. If you don't change, you will suffer. Vibaya. So that is my...
Kuna hii kitu inasemangwa sikumbuki vizuri, so you help me kama mnaijua. So I think it's a prayer. God give me the serenity to accept
things that I cannot
change,
the
to change the things that I can.
and the strength to bear those that I cannot.
I think hiyo ndio naweza waachia. Sijakuwa na points nyingi but naweza waachia hiyo. Wise words from me.
They know.
So, I think the reality of adulting is accept the things you cannot change, and the things you can change, try your level best to work on them. Because of course, we are all human beings, and majority of us, or all of us, don't like change. Na ni ukweli, hatupendi, but life is full of changes. Kubali. And also I feel like let's try to do better than what we got. I feel like most of us tunaweza sema like sponge the way vile ulilelewa, you can try your level best. So ulipewa a better life na your parents are the ones they got. Now you work on the things you know you can work on and try and give your kids even better and a super life.
That's the dream.
That's the goal. And another thing, I know I'm not a parent and maybe I'm not in a position to be giving parents advice, but kindly ndo nimeweka disclaimer tu. Why?
Hata mimi hiyo advice yenye nimepewa wazazi msinikujie. It's a personal msemaji. Nikuje please guys. Like try and
if you can teach your kids things that you know in the end of the day bado watakuwa exposed to, kindly do so. Just let your kids know kuna hii na kuna hii na kuna hii na hii ni mbaya na hii ni mzuri, and there's a certain way to navigate life without doing ABCD. And believe you me, itasaidia mtoto wako at some point. I'm not saying give a 10-year-old advice you should give a 25 or a 30-year-old. I'm just saying let them know, because actually the world is brutal out here. Very, very, very brutal. And some of the things even your kids are going through, go kwa Sunday school. Unaulizango kitu na mtoto, you're like, what is an 8-year-old
doing that kind of information?
Mtoto 8-year-old is telling us this level of information. So that means your kids are exposed to such information. It might be through those tablets they have access to YouTube and TikToks and the internet generally, but they already know, high chances they already know. So all you can do, give them advice, waambie hii ni mbaya, hii ni mzuri, wa guide to your level best.
Fanya damage control.
Fanya damage control mapema.
Oh my goodness.
So I think now we are done, guys, right?
Yeah.
It's been nice. It's been cool. It's been real. We love you guys so much. For those who are back again, we love you. We appreciate you. And if it's your first time here, kindly consider subscribing. Like,
Tunapiganga
comment,
story wadau.
share.
Yeah, we do stories.
And also, if there's a certain topic you want us to talk about or to navigate, ziache hapo chini, tutazi discuss. We love you so much. See you on our next episode. Bye.
Hey, before tufunge. If you have any insights on every topic that we're discussing, just mnaweza share pale kwa comment section.
Corrections.
We don't know everything. Hata kama tuko hapa, we are still learning.
And kindly, guys, this is just our personal opinions and takes, nothing personal.
Hatuna
Kama tumekuguzililia usiweke pini.
Hatuna haya.
That we appreciate
Sana.
Bye.